Hey y'all, it's Necey Dixon. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, y'all, welcome back. Clack, clack. It's after 5, y'all. It's time for the dinner/happy hour live. Shout out to those of y'all who met me on the lunchtime live where we talked about Real Housewives of Atlanta. If you haven't had a chance to check out that review, make sure y'all head on over and watch my review from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know I was late to the party, y'all, but y'all go ahead and watch, okay? But today, finally, on a what day is today? Tuesday. Hey, Monique. We're about to talk about Stephanie, Love and Marriage Huntsville, as well as Love and Marriage DC. So I talked to a couple of y'all earlier. Like I said on the lunchtime live, we was talking over y'all's lunch breaks. And I told y'all I watched Love and Marriage DC. And when I didn't take notes. I watched it back twice because it didn't grab my attention. And I don't know why. Because I watched it a second time and I was like, you know what? That actually was a very entertaining episode. And we actually gonna have a bit to talk about. Because episode 1, we really didn't know who the people were. Okay. Like we could only speculate who we thought they were. And one more thing, y'all. One more thing. It's about to storm here in Texas. So I'm Dallas, not the whole state of Texas. It's about to storm here in Dallas. So I'm about to try to crank out this review before this video gets even more chopped and screwed from what it already be. Chopped and screwed. You know what I mean? So y'all hang on tight, okay? Stay down. Stick beside me, okay? But anyway, we didn't really know who the people were in Love and Marriage DC. So number 1 was just discovery in my Karen Huger. It was just discovery phase. And now this episode, I'm starting to look at Irana like, girl, you's a damn fool. And I feel like Irana and Jamie are going to be the epitome of people's grandmas and granddaddies who stayed together for years and years and years. And, you know, Monique and Chris are asking for marriage advice. But I feel like Irana and Jamie, the only advice they have is we stay together, period. Okay, a lot of old people, this is why you can't be looking at nobody saying relationship goals. How did they do it? 26 years? How did they do it? They stayed together, period. Sometimes it's just that simple, and it doesn't mean that it's always the right answer, but we're going to talk about that. So we're going to use Love and Marriage Huntsville as the pregame, and then we'll use not Huntsville. We're going to use Love and Marriage DC as the pregame, and then we're going to jump into Love and Marriage Huntsville. So if y'all are here, y'all on time, shout out to y'all. Do me a favor, like the video, hit subscribe if you are not subscribed. If you already gang, hashtag Necey Hive, hashtag brunch bunch, all that, make sure y'all share the video with other people who y'all know like these TV shows, because it's always good when y'all have the chat lit. Okay, litty. All right, so time to get into the order of events. Love and Marriage DC is where we're going to start. So we see Monique and Ashley. They meet up. And really, I think that this is the part of the episode that put me to sleep. This is the part of the episode where I really couldn't focus, where I told y'all I didn't feel like nothing was going on, because things definitely do get interesting at the dinner scene. But right here, Monique and Ashley, they talk about things like motherhood. They talk about the sacrifices that they made for their family. They talk about where their relationship has gone over the years. Did you have a 7-year itch? This is where we're at year 10, and this is what I'm requiring of my husband. So it was good for both Ashley and Monique to have that moment because they felt like they had somebody to relate to without necessarily complaining. So that was a cute moment. Good that y'all had that support system. Ugh, good. So next, we see DJ Quick, and he's doing his thing. And the only note that I took of DJ Quick doing his work, he was doing something with HBCUs, some project that he's been doing for 16 years. But really, the only note I took from that is that Quick works a lot. That's all they want us to know. He works a lot. He's established a network because he's been in this music radio industry for a long time as a DJ. So that's all they want us to know, is that he works a lot. Now, he wants everybody to know that his work is a sacrifice for his family. So it sounds like we might need Dr. Francis to come over and tell him that, you don't really have to sacrifice in this way. Why is it that you choose to romanticize overworking? Is it because you're running from something else? But I don't know quick just yet, okay? I'm just triggered. I'm just talking about them Scott brothers over there in Huntsville. They definitely romanticize overworking, because what are you running from? Who knows? We'll see. So next, y'all, we see Monique on the flip side. We see her in the radio world. Radio must be really big in DC. Had no idea. I don't listen to radio hardly anymore at all. But Monique is down to the radio station. She got a phone call. This ain't really necessarily an interview, but they had a spot open for her to be a co-host on their morning show or afternoon show. I don't know what time it was. I think it was the morning show. They had a spot for her to be a co-host on the morning show because they wanted someone who was a mom. They know that she's well known from Real Housewives of Potomac, and she's also well known from the work that she does on Not for Lazy Moms. That was a lie. Let me not say that. Y'all know damn well don't nobody know Monique from Not for Lazy Moms. Y'all know that's one of her projects. So let's give her that. That's definitely one of her businesses, is Not for Lazy Moms. But the people know her from Real Housewives of Potomac, and that's why y'all wanted to get her down on a radio show. So now, y'all, they discuss what requirements are going to be needed to have her on the show. She's going to have to get down there between 5 a.m. and 5:30 in the morning. And Monique lets them know that she's very serious about this, and that she will, do whatever needs to be done to make sure that her family's in order for her to continue to do her job. Now, this is a real good segue into what she needs from Chris. She needs him to step up in ways that, makes her feel like he's a partner, right? Not just, oh, he takes care of the bills. He's a husband. And at first, y'all, I honestly, low key, I thought that Monique and Chris's storyline was fake, because it was something that we had heard her talk about on Real Housewives of Potomac. But the more she talks about it, I don't really think that it's fake. Hey, J-Dub. Hey, Pacino. I don't really think that it's fake, Naturally Mar. What I do think is not that much has changed since she brought up her relationship issues with her husband. And they sound like typical issues. If you ask me, they sound like the difference from a lot of men and women, and what, stereotypical household rules should be, or roles should be. So I think that we're actually going to get an authentic storyline from Monique. So one of the things that they end up saying to her, basically, before they give her a job, they knew damn well they was going to give her a job, y'all. This was a scene that Carlos King done set up for us to have a conversation about her working more. So the radio guy ends up saying, well, we just want to make sure that you don't handle drama. This isn't radio drama. Oh, okay. This isn't radio drama. We don't want you to treat it like reality TV. And she said, I definitely won't. But whenever drama comes to me, I definitely handle it. So then she talks in her confessional about how, she hates the things that she went through on that other show, and she doesn't want it to follow her, and that she's really serious about her business. So obviously, y'all, this is going to lead to a conversation between Monique and Chris, and her asking him to step up and take care of the kids in the morning. He says, no problem, without a doubt. I'm sure the kids have things that they have to do since they are young kid age, but they're homeschooled. So it's not like he got to drive them to school, sit in the carpool lane, all that other stuff. I mean, he just got to get them dressed and all that. But as Monique and Ashley discussed at the beginning, it takes their husbands 3 assistants to do one of the things that they could completely do on their own. So fine, I see where you're coming from. So next, y'all, remember we were introduced to Winter, who I considered to be the Destiny of the franchise. And I don't mean that her personality is like Destiny. I mean, she is the recently divorced or recently single friend in the group, and she doesn't really have a mate, but she talks to everyone on the cast. So remember, y'all, we were introduced to Winter, and we found out that Winter and Monique met because Winter's first husband was Chris's teammate in the NFL. Now, her second husband, they got married like what, 9 months ago or something like that, and they're already getting ready to get a divorce. The only thing we heard was that allegedly this man, Kevin, was in his mama and daddy's basement. And I was like, what? So we obviously hear more about that. But the reason why I brought up Winter's ex-husband is because we have a scene with Chris and her ex-husband, Kevin. Chris sits down with Kevin to find out what's going on between you and Winter. We thought y'all were good. They show a whole flashback of Kevin and Winter talking about their sex life and how they have a record of having sex 8 times in one day. Not to mention this man is almost 60 years old. So you know them blue pills was popping. But anyway, they talk about that. So he's like, what's happened? And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when I saw Kevin on the screen, I knew damn well he did whatever it was that she said he did. She said that he had shady business practices that caused him to file bankruptcy, and his company was coming after him because he was stealing money. And this is what Winter said. I didn't know if Winter was missing some marbles or not. She could be. But when I saw Kevin, I was like, he did that shit. It's something about Kevin. He could be a sweet man. He could be recovered. But Kevin looks like an alcoholic to me. Just my opinion. Just the way he looks. It's not even like, for whatever reason, he looks older than what he should be. Like, you ever look at somebody and it's not like, oh, you look mature for your age. It's more like, damn, you went through a lot. Or damn, you've leaned on alcohol. Like he looks like that, in my opinion. So Kevin starts out the story saying that the whole issue started out because he was taking money from the business and spending it on his kids to go skiing. Then they start showing a bunch of like quick sound bites. He's talking about all this stuff that has happened in between. He looks suspicious. He does look suspicious. Something, I don't know, I don't trust the man. So he talks about how, the business said this. He was forced to file bankruptcy. He said something about $15,000, this and that, and this and that. And honestly, it just sounded like a bunch of bull. Chris could hardly follow with what he was saying. But what he does tell Chris is that he really loves Winter. He doesn't want to get a divorce and that he wants to make it work. So in the next scene, y'all, we see, Chris goes back and obviously he tells Monique. But Monique is like, nah, I'm going to stand by my friend because if she's saying something is wrong, obviously she's right. So next, y'all, we see the men meet up. We see we see Jamie Quick and then another character. I don't know who this man was. Somebody in the comments, if y'all know who the friend was, y'all tell me who he was. But it was basically guys who were in like the radio / music / party scene in DC. You got Quick, who's a DJ. You got Jamie, who runs a promoter company, which is like J&J Entertainment. And then it was another guy. But ultimately, y'all, all I got from this conversation was some bullshit in my candy voice. Our industry is different. Our women have stuck with us through the bullshit. I'm so lucky to have a woman who stood by my side, and it take a strong woman to be with a man in this type of industry. We done dealt with some stuff in our past, but she stayed down. My wife was a ride or die. And that's all we got from that conversation was how much their wives stayed down. How you got to be a strong woman to deal with that, okay? How you got to be a ride or die. And everything that they done gone through. And I was just like disgusted at the whole conversation. But honestly, I knew that it was going to make for good TV. I knew when I seen Arena and Jamie on the TV show, y'all ain't been married for 26 years and ain't no bullshit happen, okay? And I feel like that was probably another reason why she didn't want to do a Q&A. Because I'm telling y'all, the only way that they've been married for 26 years is the simple fact that they just stayed together. She stood beside him, okay? That's the only reason why. and Tiffany, yes, strong, aka fool, is what they were saying. Not that I'm calling these women a fool, but they're congratulating these women on enduring the bullshit. Okay. So let's not. It's not 19 damn 45 where women ain't working and you gonna stand beside your man to keep a roof over your damn head. But okay. So we'll move on from that scene because not much else happened. I think that scene was just placed in for us to be painted a picture that the men are on bullshit, or at least have been on bullshit. And all of them claim that it happened in the past. We've moved on from that, right? But I feel like what we're going to find out is that shit is probably more recent than what they're saying or what they want to talk about. Because whenever they brought it up to Jamie, Jamie was like, it was a long time ago. Don't mention it. Nah, don't mention it, okay? You don't want to go digging for dirt because you don't want to get your hands dirty. You don't want to release any sirens because you don't want no people to come and say, what? It was a long time ago. Well, last month, you don't want that. You don't want that. Okay. So finally, y'all, there's a couples dinner. Monique has embraced this healthy, I think she said vegan lifestyle. I don't know if she's vegan or if she's just meatless, but either way, she's changed her diet completely. She does not eat meat. And when she said that, I was like, must be nice. Must be nice, because I always hear celebrities talk about how, you shouldn't eat meat. And then whenever we see them on TV or whenever they talk about their lifestyle, 9 times out of 10, they have a private damn chef who can make the Impossible burgers taste like burgers. They got the plant-based burger meat that looks like it's bleeding. They got the chefs that can slice carrot and make it taste like bacon. Like, damn, you know what? If I had a chef, I could definitely do it. I know I could definitely do it. But shout out to the people who are regular income and they're able to go vegan. No knock to Monique. Okay. If you got the funds to have a private chef for you to be vegan, girl, I would be doing the same thing. But I just look at it completely differently whenever I'm hearing from somebody who has the money to make carrots taste like bacon. Okay. But whatever. So anyway, she invites all the couples over because she wants all of them to have a really nice healthy meal and come on board with whatever lifestyle she's been going through for the past couple months. Y'all know Monique got her locks. She's gone through rediscovery. So it started with the essential oils, then it went to the locks. She's not using regular medicine remedies, which is cool. Now on top of that, you're homeschooling your children because you want them to know the truth. You want them to know about Africa. So Monique, to me, feels like she's on what do I need to call this? Rediscovery, awakening? I don't know. And I feel like we've seen it happen gradually. Even whenever Monique was on Real Housewives of Potomac, she hey Sam, when she was on Real Housewives of Potomac, she was always wearing the natural styles, especially closer to, I think, her last season in her confessional looks. It was cute because she wanted her daughter to see her wear her natural hair. So I think it's been like a journey of her and her awakening. But that's what's up. And Meg, you were so right. They did her instant locks real good. They look cute AF. I was like, damn, I need to make an appointment for some faux locks. Or do I want to wear a wig? Or do I want to wear a ponytail? I don't know, because I'm ready to take these damn braids out. So let's get down. Yes, Joe, this is exactly what it is. Her Dr. Sebi journey. That's exactly what it is. Oh my gosh. Hey Antoinette, you didn't miss too much. We just finishing up real Love and Marriage Huntsville, DC before we get into y'all. What's the damn show called? Love and Marriage DC before we get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Yes. Okay. So Anyway, let's get down to the best scene in the entire episode. Monique and Chris, they kind of get into a little bit of a disagreement. Okay, they kind of show their asses in front of everybody, in front of company. So Monique starts talking about, and this may be out of order, y'all, but I'm just going to give it to y'all. Monique starts talking about how she had C19. She was sick. She said she was in the room and, nobody checked on her. She said that. Nobody was feeding me. Nobody checked on me. I had to text them and tell them to come check on me. And that's where Chris was like, hold up. You're not going to make it seem like we just abandoned you, like we left you for dead. Because she definitely was making it sound like they left her for dead in my Mama D voice. And Chris was like, let me tell the story because I know you're not going to tell it the way it happened. And she says, well, I'm letting you tell the story. And that's where he says, well, hush. And I was like, ooh, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. So Chris finally tells his version of stories. And basically they tell the same story. But then Monique ends up feeling guilty because she definitely did say that y'all left me without food. So then all of a sudden she's like, I never said that. I never said that y'all left me and didn't provide, y'all didn't help me while I was sick. I just said that y'all needed to check on me. Chris says, run the tape back. And Monique definitely did say that they left her without food. So I'm like, that is so funny. Lady J, she said everybody refers to Mama D when referring to this scene. That's too funny. I gotta watch the other reviews. But this scene definitely reminded me of Mama D. You done left my son for dead, okay? I can't watch other people's reviews before I do mine because then I'm like, you know what? They convinced me. This is my direction. I can't do it. But anyway, so Monique and Chris, after they get into this little, I don't even want to call it a fight, but they obviously had annoyances towards each other. They both was getting real cute and real petty. Tone was getting like this. Neck was like, okay. As soon as that happened, they went ahead and cleaned it up real quick. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, babe. I love you. And they kissed. So obviously, this causes the other couples to talk about, we're all married here. We all know that bullshit goes down in marriages, blah, blah, blah. So Irena and Jamie, they started talking about, we've been together for 26 years, so we definitely understand. And at first, y'all, I didn't think I was going to like Ashley, but I like that she did this in this scene. When it came to this dinner table, I was like, maybe I will like Ashley. She ended up saying, okay, Irena and Jamie, we know that y'all have been through some bullish, but like what kind? And I'm like, yeah, honestly, y'all doing all this dancing around. She didn't held me down. She been ride or die. We done been through some things. Go ahead and say what it is. Enlighten us instead of dancing around it. So that's whenever Irena says, we've been through, what I thought. We've been through what I thought was infidelity. And Jamie says, yeah, it's just a part of the industry. It's a part of my job. My job was requiring me to mix and mingle with different ladies. But we moved past that. What I thought was infidelity. And Winter, the relationship coach, Winter says, well, Irena, I've always wondered, what is it that makes a woman want to stand by a man? What is it? And that's Winter's way of saying, girl, you a damn fool. So what made you stay? And that's where Irena says, well, honestly, I thought it was cheating, but I never found anything. I never found anything. Let me take a sip. Let me take a sip. Let me take a sip. This man said his job makes him mix and mingle with women And the reason why we're not going to call a thing is because you didn't catch him. The delusion is a scary thing. The mind is a powerful thing. You can honestly make yourself believe whatever it is that you want to believe. And just the look on Arena and Jamie's face when they sat there and said that, when they sat there and told everybody that the sky was purple, when everybody knows the sky is blue, they were like, it's purple. What? So if y'all want to know the answer as to how Arena and Jamie stayed together for 26 years, the answer is they simply just stayed together. Okay? If you want to convince yourself that nothing has ever happened, that's on you. Okay? Arena is the walking definition of that old saying, you don't want to go dig for dirt. You don't want to get your hands dirty, don't go digging for dirt. Because you will find something. And Arena is very much giving Tisha. I thought for the longest that Ashley was going to be our Tisha, because Ashley's husband overworks and he works so hard and she's feeling like a single mom at home. I thought Ashley was going to be our Tisha. And y'all, I know damn well that this show is not going to mirror Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm just drawing comparisons. She legally blind. P.O.P. Hold it down. She legally blind. Mama, I love you. Okay? She's legally blind. She can't see. She can't see. Arena is definitely giving Tisha. And it was hilarious to me because Winter was like, oh, okay. And it wasn't like she was saying, oh, okay, he didn't cheat. It was like Winter was saying, oh, you've convinced yourself that. Okay, no further questions. So while we see that Arena got her clown mask on for the first time, we now move on to Winter. They start talking about Kevin, the ex, the one who supposedly stole money from his company. And she ends up telling everyone how everything was so good at first. The man claimed that he lived in a basement apartment. He didn't say he was living in the basement of his parents' house. That's two different things. But Ashley, thank you for bringing the source of truth to the table, because these people want to live in delusion. Why is it that both Winter and Arena want to live in delusion? Thank you, Ashley, for calling a thing, pointing out the elephant in the room, baking the damn cake. Ashley ends up saying, well, I would have never married a man if I never saw where he lived before. And when she said that, I was like, very simple. And y'all, the kicker, I didn't even tell y'all this. The kicker is that Winter is a damn relationship coach. Winter's a relationship coach. You married a man, never saw where this man lived. But Winter, when I saw this man on the screen, I knew something was not right. So what's going on, relationship coach? It is just very interesting to me. So they kind of cut the episode off there. Ashley and Winter are obviously going to get into it because Ashley called the thing a thing. She did. And she was like, what is going on? Yeah, Winter did not ask all the questions. So Ashley is going to ask the questions and Winter is going to be feeling some type of way because it's like, why are you asking me things that I should have already known? Why are you calling me out? And Arena is going to be feeling some type of way to Ashley because it's like, why are you asking about our bullshit? We already said that it was bullshit. Why are you calling a thing a thing? I don't want to know that my husband is cheating on me. Okay. So we are going to see, y'all. Okay. So at this point, y'all already know what it is. It is time for us to move on to the good old show that y'all love to talk about. The show that I took forever to review. We're going to get on to Love and Marriage Huntsville. But before we do me a favor, like the video. If you're new on the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. All right, y'all. It is time to get into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, I'm looking at my notes and I'm remembering where this episode left off. So, y'all, episode starts out. If y'all remember last week, and I told y'all, like, I was sitting in the bed watching this scene and I was just screaming. And I was like, this is fake. This is fake. If y'all was here last week, drop in the comments and let me know that y'all were here for my review last week when I told y'all that this scene was fake. This was a scene, this was a scheme, okay, that Carlos King set up. This was something that Tisha and Marceau set up for us to believe that Tisha, number one, had an effect on the way that Marceau could think or feel. I honestly feel like, as much as Marceau says he don't be in the comments, Marceau is in the comments just as much as Tisha. He's just telling Tisha to stay out the comments so he could regulate how they appear on screen. Y'all, they're trying to mess with our optics. They're trying to change the view of the way that we see them. Down from the first damn episode, okay? Whenever they came on, down to Marceau, allowing Tisha to make the decision if Martell could be in business. Y'all, I knew it was going to be fake. In what world have we ever seen a scenario where Tisha says, Marceau, I need to talk to you about something. And Marceau says, oh, it's going to be a long conversation. Okay, what do you need to talk about? You looking like a damn puppy dog with your tail stuck between. What do you need to talk about, Tisha? Are you okay? We ain't never seen that before. That's why I was like, y'all get up out of here. Somebody give them a damn award. So basically, Tisha comes and she talks to Marceau about the picture that she suddenly has on her phone. And Marceau acts surprised as if Wanda didn't come to him that morning with the bullish, or either the day before. Let's just say that morning, because we know they had to go to bed and lay their heads down next to each other. So that it should have been discussed. But let's just say that morning. We already knew that Marceau knew that Wanda was going to tell Tisha about this rumor. Tisha and Marceau had all damn day or a phone call before the cameras came around to rehearse how this was going to go down. Y'all know damn well, in all of the seasons that we've been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville, never would Tisha allow us the satisfaction. Not that I'm going to be satisfied, but the viewers. Let me say that. Never in a million years would Tisha allow the viewers the satisfaction of having a conversation where potentially her husband would admit to cheating on her on camera. Y'all knew that. Y'all knew that. The only way we would ever find out about Marceau cheating is if somebody else brought it up on camera. Like it looks like Kiki is going to do at one of these damn birthday parties or something. So I knew this was a setup. So anyway, the both of them say that it's not really evidence. And Marceau, he builds up the suspense. I did go to Atlanta. I went with a friend. I went with Chris Fletcher. Y'all, Marceau is smart. I feel like Marceau is telling a little bit of the truth while continuing to hide the lie. My question is, though, why the fuck were you in Atlanta without your wife knowing, and y'all have 3 kids to take care of? Tisha, Why was your husband in Atlanta and you didn't know? Can anybody tell me? And you're is this the first time you're finding out he was in Atlanta with Chris, allegedly? It was very much given, hey, if Tisha called, I was with you. And we know damn well Chris Fletcher has cheated on his wife before, because you remember he was the one who was trying to get Mel and Martell back together because he too had been through infidelity with his wife. So for you to say you was with Chris Fletcher, to me, that doesn't absolve you of anything bad that you could have been doing. It really was not, it didn't give you a clear name. In my opinion, it was kind of just like Chris is a part of y'all squad. Y'all got a whole pact. Black men don't cheat pact. And y'all gonna hold each other down, okay? Y'all gonna stand beside them. And that's all we've seen this entire episode. I'm like, okay, whatever. So as soon as he reveals to Tisha that he was with Chris Fletcher, Tisha felt some sense of relief. Girl, bye. Bye. Okay? You're right, Tasha. Africa solo, but not surprised about Atlanta. But when he went to Africa, she knew about it. So what was you doing? Huh. K-Line 39 said, I heard Chris denied being in Atlanta. He was in NYC. Marcel was lying. Yes. Yes. A whole cheating fraternity is exactly what it is. And that's what it's feeling like. Everybody knows that he was in New York January 4th. I didn't believe Marcel when he said it. But as soon as Tisha heard what she wanted to hear, she says, I don't understand why everybody wants to break up our family. It's just a horrible thing. They want to break up our family. And that's your fucking problem. Okay? I'm sorry. She gonna have me up here cussing for real, but I'm not trying to get this flagged. That's your damn problem, Tisha. You view Marceau's actions as a reflection of your entire family. So Marceau has convinced you that as long as you protect his bullshit and turn the other way from the comments and deflect from that type of stuff, then you're protecting the family. That's your damn problem, Tisha. When are you going to start thinking about Marceau the way that he thinks about you? And when I say that, Tisha thinks about the family first, herself second. Every time she does something, it's a representative of Marceau. Meanwhile, Marceau can do things and never, ever consider Tisha. We've seen his behavior on this show. He'll say things that flat out has embarrassed Tisha for the longest. He'll string people along with rumors and never think of how that makes his family look. But meanwhile, you can gaslight Tisha into protecting your bullshit because she's the one that has to protect the optics of your family. Put your damn thinking cap on, Tisha. Buckle it up. God damn. So he says, I know for a fact that wasn't me. And to me, it felt like a lie. To me, I feel like they had the conversation before we saw this scene. I felt like he was in Atlanta. I'll give you that little bit of truth. I was on Twitter that day. I'll give you that little bit of truth. He was not with Chris Fletcher. The picture is him, in my opinion. Okay. But Tisha went with whatever it was she wanted to hear. So Tisha starts crying. Marceau stares out into the distance. You know, when I was a kid, y'all, and my parents would piss me off and I wanted to make them feel away, I would stare deep into whatever I was looking at. I would want the wind to hit my eyes. Sometimes I sit in the back seat, let the air conditioning come and dry my eyes out a little bit. So then whenever I blink, I just gotta bloop. And that's what we got from Marceau. He stares out into the distance. Yeah, they want to break up our family. And then we got a bloop, the theatrics. Okay? The theatrics. But y'all know what? Tisha can't have this scene without talking about Mel and Martell. So Tisha says, they want to bring up her family. They want to see us unhappy. And you know, the whole time Marceau is in agreement, like, yeah, they want to break up our family. But you want to know, whenever Tisha crossed the line, whenever Tisha was going wrong road, when Tisha went wrong road, this is what happened. Tisha said, it's like, just because Martell got caught, they want everybody else to bring brought down too. They want everybody else to get caught too, or they want everybody else to have to deal with infidelity just because Martell cheated. But as soon as she said Martell, Marceau was kind of like, pipe down. Now, Marceau didn't say pipe down, but Marceau's theatrics definitely stopped at the mention of Martell. And you want to know why? That's because Martell has something on that ass. And if y'all want to make it seem like Martell is the only one cheating, Tisha might not know that you have a cheating pact, cheating fraternity to uphold. But Tisha doesn't know that Martell, who is low-key your frenemy and low-key emotionally unstable, if he feels any type of way about you, Marceau, he can expose your ass. He brought up the 20 girls and then reneged on what he said. But y'all know he got more tea, right? Y'all know Martell has more tea, right? So Marceau is like, okay, babe, we can talk about this. We can say that it's us against the world. But one thing we're not going to do, we're not going to talk about Martell Holt. And you're not. Okay? Now, I feel like we've seen a lot of that behavior from Maurice this episode as well. We've seen it from Maurice this episode as well. So Marceau denies it. Marceau also prevents his wife from discussing Martell because he knows that Martell probably has the choppers loaded and he's ready to go. So let's go ahead and move on to Kimmy, Maurice, and Martell. And this is what I want to talk about, y'all. This is where I see the similarities of both of y'all upholding the cheating fraternity, the cheating brotherhood. Okay? What happens in Atlanta stays in Atlanta. So next, y'all. Shout out to Keisha Keish. She said, and subsequently threw shade on Carlos Nightcap, Martell about Tisha and Marceau. Well, the rumors are out there for a reason. Period. So next, y'all, we see Martell, Kimmy, and Maurice having a discussion. They want to have a discussion about why Mel is the preferred of the two of them to be invited to the housewarming party, and Martell got to sit this one out. So Martell's like, why are you putting me second? Why are you putting me second to Kimmy? And number one, y'all, let's just talk about the vibes. The vibes from me, before they even started the conversation, was very much giving. Maurice was very much giving, Martell, my wife tripping. I want to invite you. But you know, I got to do what the wife want to do. So just come have this conversation, bro. It was very much given, I don't want to ruffle your feathers. My wife might come with the smoke. But because my wife is feeling some type of way, I'm going to give the complete opposite energy. So that way Martell isn't triggered into exposing some of my truths. Linebacker. So now they sitting down and Martell's like, why are you putting me second to Mel? And Kimmy says, well, you know, I really just don't want to put Mel in any type of situation. And that's what I promised her. I don't want y'all arguing. And Kimmy logically explains this. But let me tell y'all, this is where I disagree. 99.9% of the time, I always agree with Kimmy in the way that she explains herself, the way that she communicates. She has a way of making other people seem like a child. Like she has this very wise nature about her, the way she explains things. And she still kept that vibe up. She still kept a very wise vibe up. But for me, I felt like some of what she was saying was on bullshit. And I'm going to tell you why. So Kimmy explains, Martell, I feel like, you know, because of the decisions that you have made in your marriage, there's fallout that you can control and fallout that you simply cannot control. And I feel like the people who are in your environment shouldn't be drugged into that. And listen, y'all, Martell says, well, that's because they are in my environment. And when Martell said that, we're not going to act like we don't know what he's talking about. Martell says, because they are in my environment. Kimmy wants to make it seem like Maurice is a victim of the bullshit that Martell decides to do with Ariane. But no, this is where Martell was completely correct. Maurice was in that environment with the side chicks, regardless of if there was actually a linebacker or not. Maurice is no victim. Maurice sat there on stage. He lied, okay, in a lawyer tone. He didn't directly lie because y'all know there's so many technicalities. But Kimmy wants to make it seem like Maurice is a victim. But Kimmy is so smart, so emotionally intelligent, so mature that she knows that Maurice probably partook in whatever Martell's environment was. But Kimmy's main motive in this situation now is to prevent anything else from spilling out. She's doing the same thing that we see Marceau doing. She's doing the same thing that we're seeing Maurice doing. The only difference is Kimmy doesn't know the depth of what these men actually know about each other. So that's the only reason why she feels like she can have a little bit of smoke towards Martell and put a lot of blame on Martell because of the things that he did in his marriage. But ultimately, that has nothing to do with whatever your husband decided to do in Atlanta. So your reason for not inviting Martell had everything to do with the fact that Ariane said that your husband was out here with a linebacker and nothing to do with Mel. And Mel knew that. Now, things are starting to make sense because I told y'all, what was this, 2 episodes ago, whenever Kimmy was at the taco restaurant with Mel and Stormy. And I told y'all I was so irritated that Mel kept harping on the fact that now all of a sudden Kimmy wanted to be upset with Martell. And at first, y'all, I was feeling like, you know what? Mel just wants a I told you so moment. Mel, you know, she wants everybody to be mad at Martell because she's mad. That's what I was thinking. But this makes perfect sense. At this time, y'all, Mel already knew that Ariane made the statement about the linebacker. So what Mel wanted was, oh, now you're only wanting to disinvite Martell because he's impacting your marriage. That's what she wanted. Because Kimmy is really trying to dance around this like you don't just fuck with Martell's character. That's not what it is. You know that Martell has some tea that you don't want to have to explain on network to us. So Kimmy says, what I can do is I can control my own environment. So that's what I'm going to do. And Martell says, well, what have I done to y'all? Thank you. Excellent question, Martell. Because that's one of the things that Kimmy doesn't want to discuss. Kimmy keeps dancing around it. This shit is not about Mel, okay? What exactly did I do to y'all? And Kimmy says, well, you commented under the post and you were promoting the negativity. Now, it was Kimmy who said it first. Let's not start in the middle. Let's go back to the beginning. We have to go back to the beginning. And if you want to go back to the beginning, it's the fact that your husband was in Atlanta and he lied. That's the beginning. Now, if you want to go back to the next part of the beginning, his brother posted the picture. And ultimately, last is Martell's side chick commented under the post and said that he was with a linebacker. And she said, use my code linebacker to shop my boutique. So Kimmy, if we go back to the beginning, Problem number one is your husband. Problem number two is his brother, who was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick my big toe out the door, but I ain't gonna expose you. I ain't gonna open up the whole door, but I'm gonna crack it a little bit just so you know I got some fire under your ass. And if you really want that smoke, I'm gonna reveal something. And Kimmy knows that all of the men are playing this game. So let's go back to the beginning. Thank you for the super chat, Amber. Amber says, and that's why Maurice can't stand Mel, because Mel exposed their cheating ring and left. Now Kimmy is forever on high alert. And that's why Mel is always looking like she's experiencing some sort of glee whenever other stuff comes up with the other couples. Because it's like, okay, Mel stuff was all the way out there for at least what seemed to us like it was 100% out there, right? But for y'all are dancing around it, and y'all are using this language that we can't necessarily decipher unless we get into a review and I have to break it down word for word, okay? So anyway, she says Martell was promoting negativity. And my question was, keep that same energy with Marceau. Definitely keep the same energy with Marceau. And so Memphis says Mel exposed it. How? The reason why Mel exposed the cheating ring is because her husband got caught. Her husband got caught. It was something that they agreed they weren't going to talk about on the show. So with Martell getting caught and knowing that they all hung around each other, it casted seeds of doubt in everybody else's relationships. That's exactly why. And yes, J-Dub, you said it perfectly. Martell is Kimmy's fall guy. And I think Martell knows this. We didn't see Martell do a lot of things. We didn't see Martell be delusional AF, sound dumb AF. But one thing he was picking up on was definitely the BS that Kimmy was putting down in this scene. So Martell ends the conversation by saying, you know what? I understand I'm an easier target. So I'll buy Jalen a housewarming gift and we can just end it at that. And I was like, wow, Martell, you already know what they own. And the whole time, Maurice is just laughing it off. Bruh, it's all good, bruh. Yeah, keep laughing, okay? Laugh for as long as you can, and all that uncomfortability, okay? And all that uncomfort. Laugh and all that uncomfort, that's the word. Because you're nervous. You're shaking in your motherfucking boots, okay? So now, y'all, let's move on from the next scene. Destiny and Tiffany. They're at a bounce house with Destiny's son. And that's a good segue to kind of bring these two together, because y'all know Tiffany is claiming that she wants a baby this season. So who else better to have her film with besides Destiny and Law? And they talk about the events that happened at the Galentine's Day party. And Destiny says she felt like she was being poked and poked and poked. And this is another episode. I feel like I was in a damn Twilight Zone, because Tiffany, I was here for what you said in this conversation. Martell, I was here for what you said in your conversation. What is going on? So eventually, Destiny says she felt like she was being poked. And then Tiffany says, well, you know what? I feel like Stormy was quiet until you agitated her. And I was like, low key. Destiny did a lot. I did feel like Stormy was asking too many questions. I can say that for a fact. Stormy was asking way too many questions directed at Destiny that she could have asked to Mel. But Destiny took the wrong course of action whenever she decided to mock her. And Tiffany calls that out. So Destiny says, I wasn't mocking her. She was speaking hood to me. So I just wanted her to know that I could speak hood too. What's up for show? What's up for show? What's up for show? Okay. What's good? She wanted her to know that she could speak hood. And it's like, while that's an excuse, I feel like you were mocking her. You wasn't talking like that before, Destiny, but okay. So one of the things Tiffany says, though, and this is what's going to lead to Tiffany getting cut off. Tiffany keeps surrounding herself with people who do not F with Mel. And she keeps saying things about Mel when Mel's not around that will rub me the wrong way. When these people speak about Mel, I feel like Tiffany should not engage at all, especially when it comes to Martell. So one of the things that Tiffany says in this scene was, Well, before they said that I had a bodyguard. They said that Mel was my bodyguard, but now I feel like Mel got a bodyguard. That's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem because it sounds like you're agreeing with what Martell was saying when Martell said that Mel has do girls. And then you also discussed Mel and how she should be co-parenting with Martell. That's going to be a problem. It definitely will. Mel brought you on the show. But what really didn't sit right with me was Destiny and this one statement that she said. She was absolutely trying to be messy, and she was absolutely trying to make Tiffany feel a way about Mel. So Tiffany says we all should go on a girls trip. Mel is going to come with me to Utah. Destiny then says, oh, so y'all just went from being surface friends who met at work to now y'all going on a girls trip. Who asked all that, Destiny? What? Destiny. So that's your way of telling Tiffany that Mel has told you that her and Tiffany's friendship really wasn't that deep. That's your way of reporting back T that Mel told you that they were just surface friends and you wanted to make Tiffany feel a way about it. That's fake. AF. AF. I don't care if me and my friend fall out. I am never motivated to ruin the rest of your relationships. If me and my friend fall out, we're going to fall out and everybody else will see you for your ways. But one thing I won't do is motivate your other friends to stop fooling with you. And y'all know how they say what Susie says about Sally says more about Susie than it does about Sally. That's very much what it was giving. That's very much what it was giving. I'm just like, girl, I cannot. Yes, Tiffany. She threatened to drag her from Detroit to Atlanta, but now she in the house bouncing with her. It's giving very much you need somebody to film with. Miss Sugar Mama says Destiny's a hater and she can't hang. It was very much giving hater energy. Kay Lion. Destiny is jealous that Mel is still friends with the other ladies. Yes. Yes. And then Keisha Keish. Hey, Fave. Keisha Keish said, yep. Poor Tiffany tried her best to diffuse it by saying, well, it still all worked because it involves research. She did try to diffuse it. Like, oh, well, if that's what she said, then I guess it's work. But you were trying to trigger something in her to make her feel some type of way. I'm like, y'all, I cannot. Oh, Pacino. Pacino Rule said Kimmy said that at the reunion. Now that you say that comment, I think she did say that at the reunion. But either way it go, it was messy as fuck for Destiny to bring it back up. She was trying to make Tiffany feel some type of way. And that to me was ugly as fuck. Okay. So now, y'all, we finally get to the housewarming, and this is where everything goes down. Destiny shows up first, then Tiffany shows up. But Tiffany can't stay for long because Tiffany has to go to one of her boys' soccer games. But when she does, y'all don't forget that Tiffany is not going to show up without bringing the drama. So Tiffany actually did her job on this. Tiffany shows up, the guys are there, and she says, oh, this is another strike at Kimmy. This is another time I was feeling some way about Kimmy, y'all. So she says, yeah, aren't y'all going on a guys trip? Martell invited Lewis to Atlanta, and I think y'all have some history in Atlanta. And Maurice goes, oh, I didn't know anything about Atlanta. He didn't tell me anything about Atlanta. And Kimmy gets upset again, not at her husband, but she gets upset at the fact that Martell didn't tell her. Kimmy says, you know what? We just met with Martell and he didn't mention anything to me about Atlanta. Well, you know what, Kimmy? It's because you weren't invited. It's because the women were not invited to Atlanta. Martell does not have to ask the wives if the husbands are allowed to go to Atlanta. That's at the husband's discretion to share that with you. That's his duty to share with you what his plans are. And if your husband didn't do it, take that up with your damn husband. Don't take it up with Martell. I was just like, Kimmy, you know this. Why are you driving yourself into a state of delusion? Kimmy is too smart. Kimmy, You know damn well that the source is Maurice. Girl, I guess. I guess. So next, y'all, Stormy and Destiny. Kimmy ends up playing facilitator. Hey, Destiny, would you mind talking to me in the back room with Stormy? Yeah, I have no problem. Stormy, do you mind having a conversation with me in one of the guest rooms uh, with Destiny? Yeah, I don't have no problem. So we see Stormy and Destiny show up. And what we get from this conversation is Stormy says, well, number one, I don't even know you like that to have no issue. She don't know her like that to have no issue. And that's where Destiny says, well, first of all, I don't start stuff, sweetie. And Stormy cuts her off and says, don't call me sweetie. It's Stormy. My name is Stormy. And Destiny says, I'm not going to be able to have this conversation. I got to go. So Destiny gets up and she leaves the house. I don't know if Destiny expected someone to come after her, because she definitely came back into the house. And if you're going to leave over some bull-ish like that, go ahead, crank the car up and go home. Ain't no way you're going to catch me leaving an event only to come back and say, never mind. It's giving very much, you know what? I threw a fit. And now I'm ready to come back because nobody followed me. That's very much what it was giving. But I wasn't mad at the way that Stormy handled that conversation at all. Destiny tried to say, that's just how I talk. You won't talk to me and call me sweetie. No, ma'am. If we're going to have a conversation, those pet names is going to go out the window. We're going to have woman to woman. We're going to have a conversation as Stormy and Destiny. So it's like Destiny came there with that smoke again. And whenever Stormy shut it down, she didn't want to have a conversation. Given very much, you don't know how to admit when you're wrong, but okay. So next, y'all, in the other room, we see the Scott brothers. We see Maurice, Marceau, and they're having a conversation with Mel. And low-key, y'all, low-key, Mel should have stayed home, because the entire time Mel was like this. Mel was in her phone like this the entire time. Mel don't fuck with nobody there. So the excuse for Kimmy to disinvite Martell in order to invite Mel, it still didn't make sense to me, other than the fact that, well, let me not say it don't make sense. It makes perfect sense because we know what her motive is. Hey, Bondi. She said, thank you, Necey. I don't know what people thought Stormy was supposed to do. Right. I didn't know what she was supposed to do. I don't know. So anyway, Mel was in her phone the whole time, and that gave me even more reason to believe that Kimmy knew exactly what the hell she was doing whenever she decided to disinvite Martell over Mel, but whatever. So they're in the room and they're trying to discuss Martell with Mel, and I'm like, let that shit go. Let that shit go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Stop bringing up Martell in front of Mel. And I feel you on that. Like, I ain't got nothing to say about that man. So Marceau says, it's not awkward at all that Tisha and Mel aren't speaking. Well, let me correct myself. He didn't say that. He said, it's not awkward at all that Mel isn't speaking. And that's where my damn problem would have been, because your wife wasn't speaking either. And in what world do you expect Mel and Tisha to have conversation after the damn Valentine's Day? Mel is not the only person responsible for them not speaking. If you want to be all the way real, I think the person who ended the fake frenemy pact was Tisha. And Tisha ended it because as soon as she got a little bit of wind up under her damn legs that somebody else had issues with Mel, she was ready to jump on the damn bandwagon and then act like she could say something with her damn chest. So they definitely could have kept this frenemy thing going on if Tisha would have, abided by the rules and guidelines. But, Tisha's the type of person who don't want to say nothing with her damn chest unless she got somebody to back her up, like her mama or Destiny. But all right, bet. So anyway, Kimmy and Tisha said that neither one of them knew about Atlanta. No surprise. So finally, y'all, Wanda shows up, and then Patricia shows up. And y'all correct me, wasn't Patricia the Scott brothers' ex-sister-in-law? I thought so. Anyway, Wanda says, I'm here to bring all the issues. Wanda didn't Wanda, she was at home. Wanda went through her 15th bottle of Pump It Up spray before she came. Wanda was definitely giving something about Wanda very much gives me that she drinks like an E&J. Something about Wanda very much gives that she drinks liquor that comes in the plastic bottles. And she uses the tropical wine coolers as chasers. So Wanda showed up very much like she was drinking out of a damn plastic bottle. She was wobbling a little bit too. And she says, I'm here to bring all the issues. And I heard everybody was talking. Yes. Y'all know what it is. MD 2020, Moonshine, Alizé, Blue Top. Come on, y'all. Parmesan, MB. I think that's what it is. She very much is giving that she drink Parmesan, okay? Parmesan. I'm telling y'all, freshman year of college, these fools thought we ain't had no damn money. I was a tequila drinker. But these fools thought Parmesan was like the epitome of like college wealth. Parmesan peach. That's very much what Wanda was giving. That's what she was drinking when she came over to the house, okay? So she came in the house, y'all. No wine out the box. You right. But she definitely, when she dropped her liquor on the floor, the glass ain't breaking because it's plastic. So she said, I'm here to bring all the issues. All the issues. And she says, I heard everybody was talking about Tisha. Now, if these bitches and these hoes want to talk about Tisha, you make sure I'm in the room. Okay. And this is where she brings up this shoe in a box thing again. Because I don't fool with no bitches that can't buy shoes that can't come in a box. You about to run that to the damn ground. Where is your t-shirt? If you don't put this on a t-shirt and sell it, I'm going to need you to pipe down, Miss Wanda, and stop talking about it. Because you're really trying to make fetch happen. You're trying to make a thing. And if you ain't got it on a t-shirt, stop talking to me about it. Stop trying to brand it. So Wanda was tumbling, and that's whenever she uses the word bitches. And then that's whenever Kimmy says, no. Y'all know how Kimmy likes to say no. And then you hear Jalen in the background. No, we will not talk about my mother like that in this house. So it's to be continued. But Kimmy, I'm disappointed with the deflection. Tisha, you've been deflecting. Wanda is they caught her stumbling on camera. Embarrassing. So y'all tell me, Destiny, that was real ugly. Oh, y'all went from being surface friends and sweetie, that was ugly. So y'all tell me what y'all thought about this episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I see we have 317 of y'all in the chat. I hope y'all have done me a favor and liked the video. I hope y'all shared it with y'all's friends. And if you're new here, I hope you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss another one of these conversations. I know I'm late to the damn review, but I still want to get on and talk to y'all because today I was in a mood and I was like, damn, that was a good episode, okay? It was a good episode. I'm sick of all of them. No. We won't talk about my mother like this in this house. I can't, okay? Well, hope y'all enjoyed this review, okay? I will see y'all on Thursday to talk about Married at First Sight, y'all. Reunion part 2. Hopefully something actually goes down. If y'all haven't had a chance, make sure y'all check out my Real Housewives of Atlanta review that I did earlier today over lunch. So go over to my channel, check that out, hit subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.